Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Can you believe that we are almost through the fall semester 2012? It's hard to believe. Seems like school started only a couple of weeks ago, but since that time, Lincoln Memorial University volleyball team and soccer teams have completed their seasons. The golf teams had a fall schedule. The tennis teams had a fall schedule. Of course, cross-country teams going to the SAC tournament and NCAA meets. And now we're into basketball season, and with that, that means that the Lincoln Memorial University basketball teams are trying to make the turn as strong as they can before going into the holiday break. For the Lady Railsplitters, well, they're 4-4, and they'll be in action this week, of course, against Concord University on the road up in Athens, West Virginia. And for the Railsplitters, it's about this Saturday with UVA Wise up in Wise, Virginia. Of course, Wise making the transition to Division II. And we're going to tell you all about that as we talk with Josh Schertz, head coach of the Railsplitters, a little bit later on tonight. Stay with us here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Sigmund Communications is your local radio and television stations bringing your local information, local news, and the best music from yesterday and today. Sigmund Communications was established in 1987 on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University. Since then, we have been involved in community events and other projects. Sigmund Communications is not only your local radio and television stations, but we are a learning facility aimed at educating students in the field of broadcast communications. Sigmund Communications, not just the great building with satellites that sits on the hill.
We're now MediaStream, bringing home to you more and more improvements. As your hometown team, we're dedicated to bringing our friends and neighbors more service upgrades than ever before. Always available 24/7 customer service and technical support. 30-day money-back guarantee on services. Improved bundles that will save you money. Get ready to do more of the things you love with the people you love and with savings you'll love. Call 1-800-392-2662 for details. MediaStream, bringing it home to you.
Bringing it home to you.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBusk College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available including family medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic.
Welcome back to the show. Let's get started. The Lincoln Memorial University volleyball team brought the 2012 season to a close on Thursday evening when the number 5 regionally ranked Lady Railsplitters took on number 4 regionally ranked Tusculum College in the quarterfinals of the 2012 NCAA regional tournament held in Savannah, Georgia. This year's appearance marked the 5th consecutive time the LMU women have earned a spot in the big dance, while their matchup with the Pioneers of Tusculum College was to be their 4th meeting between the two South Atlantic Conference rivals this season, the Pioneers having won 2 out of 3 meetings entering the regional tournament. During the regular season, LMU and Tusculum had split every match in which they played each other, and Thursday evening's meeting was to be no exception. After winning the previous 2 meetings of the 2012 season, the Pioneers took sets 1, 3, and 5 to capture a 3-2 win over LMU to advance to the semifinals of this year's regional tournament and to end the Lady Railsplitters run with a 21-14 record. Tusculum won 25-21, lost 25-18, won 25-16, lost 25-18, and won 15-12 to take the win. In addition to ending the year at 21-14 for the Lady Railsplitters in their 5th consecutive trip to the NCAA regional tournament, the LMU women graduate seniors Blair Fowler, Jennifer Drum, Kristen Cantrell, and Brittany Pugh, and will be looking to reload the shells for 2013, which will be Jenny Michaels' 3rd year at the helm of the LMU volleyball program. And turning to other sports, women's basketball in particular, on Sunday afternoon, the Lady Railsplitter basketball team suffered its 4th loss of the season and its 2nd loss in South Atlantic Conference play when the Lady Railsplitters traveled to Newberry, South Carolina to take on league opponent Newberry College. The LMU women entered their first bout of the season with the Wolves at 4-3, having lost their last outing Wednesday night on the road in Greenville, Tennessee at the hands of Tusculum College 66-47. Although the score was tied once early in the contest and the Lady Railsplitters did make a late game run, LMU never led throughout the game and trailed 58-38 with 7:14 to go. With 55 seconds to play, LMU had cut their deficit to only 6 but couldn't get over the hump, and the Wolves escaped with a 69-60 victory at Newberry. The Lady Railsplitters fall to 4-4 overall and 0-2 in South Atlantic Conference play as they travel Thursday evening, tonight, to Athens, West Virginia to take on the Mountain Lions of Concord University now at 6 p.m. And I'll have your call of that game, so check us out on the Railsplitter Sports Network. And also Sunday afternoon, the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team successfully defended its number 12 national ranking when the Railsplitters hit the road in South Atlantic Conference play to take on the Wolves of Newberry College in South Carolina. With a perfect record of then 5-0, the Railsplitters entered the house of one of their most difficult teams to match up against when they played Dave Davis and the Wolves of Newberry College for the first time this season. Newberry is a team that possesses the dribble drive offense, and that has possessed problems for Josh Schert's Railsplitters in the past. Such was the case Sunday as the LMU men led by as many as 10 points on 2 different occasions throughout the first half of play. Early in the second half, the momentum began to switch and the Wolves went on the attack, capturing the lead for the first time since early in the game at the 15:06 mark of the second half. Newberry maintained that lead until 38 seconds remaining in regulation when Lorenzo Ross's three-pointer tied the game at 89. After going into overtime at 89, the Railsplitters held a lead and were tied with the Wolves throughout much of the overtime period. Senior Cam Carden's three-pointer with only 3 seconds on the clock gave LMU the advantage, and after a quick Newberry foul, senior Wally Jones iced 2 free throws, and Railsplitters came away with a 100-95 win to improve to 6-0 overall and 2-0 in South Atlantic Conference play. This Saturday, the Railsplitters traveled to Wise, Virginia to take on the Highland Cavaliers of the University of Virginia College at Wise before concentrating on final exams next week for fall semester, and they will take a number 11 national ranking into this weekend's bout. Turning to softball, excuse me, the Lincoln Memorial University head coach Natalie Layden announced this week the signing of 4 additions to the Lady Railsplitters softball program picked up during the early signing period. Peyton Bruce, Meredith Johnson, Kristen McAndrew, and Jennifer Moose will all join the LMU softball program beginning in the fall semester of 2012. Peyton Bruce is a 5'10" corner infielder hailing from Maiden, North Carolina, that hits for power from both sides of the plate. She has a proven reputation as an athletic and versatile competitor, as Bruce played 3 sports for her high school North Lincoln High team. She received many awards throughout her career, including All-Conference, All-District, and while compiling a .432 batting average in her prep career. Bruce has secured a tremendous amount of success for her competitive travel ball team, the Catawba Valley Storm. And Johnson is a left-handed first baseman that will provide a great deal of skill at first base with power hitting from the left side of the plate. She brings a solid reputation as an athlete and a student, carrying a 4.12 grade point average while being named Athlete of the Month for the Coastal Credit and 99.5 The Fan en route to garnering all conference and all district honors. Kristen McAndrew is a utility player residing in Belmont, North Carolina that has played competitively for Team NC. Team NC boasts a very challenging schedule, and McAndrew has been a stable force with the middle of the lineup throughout the year. During her time at South Point High School, she has been a 4-year starter and a 4-year scholar athlete while playing 3 positions and compiling a .350 batting clip. And finally, Jennifer Moose, a catcher-shortstop combo from Statesville, North Carolina, has played for the Carolina Comets Gold Travel Organization from the beginning of her competitive playing career. While faced with a tough schedule nationally, she has notched a .403 batting average and swiped 14 bases this fall. She is a great athlete who will bring very good speed and an aggressive base running mentality to the LMU softball program. Moose is no stranger to winning, as she was a part of the 2011 16U ASA State Championship team. Moose also competed as a 3-sport athlete in high school and served as a captain in 2 sports. She was also a NC Scholar athlete. And turning to men's soccer, Railsplitter men's soccer forward Mario Pinto is the latest Lincoln Memorial University athlete to earn All-American honors. Pinto, a 5'11" native of Uberlandia, Brazil, led the Railsplitters to a 13-4-1 season finish while earning a spot in the 2012 South Atlantic Conference Championship. Pinto tallied 21 goals, 5 assists, 47 points, 89 shots, 51 shots on goal, and a 57.3 shot on goal percentage. Of his 21 scores this season, 7 were game winners. Pinto capped the 2012 season leading the South Atlantic Conference in goals, points, and game-winning scores while ranking 2nd in the league in shots and 6th in assists. Pinto's impact was not only felt in the South Atlantic Conference, as he ranked among the elite scorers nationally in Division II. He concluded the season ranked third in the nation in total goals with 21, second in goals per game at 1.17, second in points per game at 2.61, and third in total points with 47. Pinto is the latest of a long line of Lincoln Memorial University soccer players to earn All-American honors. He will return next year for his senior season to lead the Railsplitters in their next quest for South Atlantic Conference regular season and conference tournament titles. We're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, we're going to talk with Lincoln Memorial University head men's basketball coach Josh Schertz about the Railsplitters battle this coming Saturday with the Highland Cavaliers of UVA Wise, and next week's bout on the road, or actually at home with King, and that's all coming up. Stay with us.
I will help families adopt children from around the world and in our own backyard.
I am teaching ethics to the next generation of lawyers.
I will make a difference for the underserved of this region.
I will be an advocate for my clients.
As a prosecutor, I fought for those who couldn't speak for themselves.
I'm a lawyer and professor.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I guess we'll take Morty. Yes.
Pick last. Ouch. A vault will put you back on top. Quenches and kicks. Incoming! Yeah! You're a super soda mercenary! Vault! Drinks like a soda, kicks like an energy drink. Get to it!
History comes alive at the Abraham Lincoln Library and Museum on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University in Harrogate, Tennessee. Located 60 miles north of Knoxville and 5 minutes from the entrance of Cumberland Gap National Historic Park, the museum is home of one of the largest privately held Lincoln collections in the country.
A place to learn and play. My museum includes interactive exhibits as well as special events and educational programs. For more information, go to www.lmunet.edu.
We represent the Coke brand. We would like to sue Coca-Cola Zero. Would you say that we have a case?
For what?
For taste infringement.
We want to just sue them back to the Stone Age to send a message that they're tampering with really the flagship of the company.
It's one company. It's like you suing yourself.
Yeah, but they're on a different part of our floor.
Da, 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 da.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. The Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team learned Tuesday afternoon that they have moved up to the number 11 spot in the latest National Association of Basketball Coaches poll. They are undefeated at 6-0, and this Saturday they will travel, well, let's call it northeast, up 58 through Virginia, and then off the beaten path over to Wise, Virginia, to take on the Highland Cavaliers of the University of Virginia College at Wise. Coach, I know that it's been a good ride up to now, and certainly this past weekend's win over Newberry was a big win on the road for you. You're 2-0 in conference play, and this weekend you're going to take on a very good UVA Wise basketball team.
We really are. It's been a, we talked about after the Bob Jones game, kind of the gauntlet that was coming our way, and we had 7 games left in the semester, and 5 would be road games, a great home test with King. So we really thought it was going to be a terrific 7-game stretch for our team to be challenged and grow and develop. And at this stage of the year, everybody is a work in progress. What you want to do at this time of year is win and learn versus lose and learn. And, last week I think, we found a way twice to win, and hopefully we'll learn. Obviously, we've learned a lot about our team, areas we got to improve, some areas we were exposed in, some good things about our team in terms of some things we did well. But obviously, the key is to continue to improve, to take the lessons that we're learning during the games, and then apply them, get better in practice. We hadn't had a lot of practice time, really. We played Hiawassee, Tusculum, and Newberry. We played 3 games in 8 days. Doesn't leave much time to practice because you're playing games and you're preparing for your opponent. Since Newberry, I've had a chance to come in, have 4 practices leading into Wise, so hopefully we'll shore up some areas we got to improve in and continue and be better Saturday at Wise. Then we got finals week. You're going to practice and try to get better over that. And then obviously we finish up the semester with a King home game, then at Augusta State.
Coach, you're beginning your 5th season at the helm of the Railsplitter basketball program, and as coach, it's not only your duty to win games, but you've got to improve things like the facilities and the recruiting and the program in general. Now, that being said, when folks look at it from an outsider's standpoint, whether I be a recruit or another coach or somebody that just looks at scores, do you think that the name Lincoln Memorial now, when you talk about men's basketball, talks about one of the nation's elite teams? Are we up there on a regular standpoint each year with the nation's elite teams?
I think that it's starting to become that. I think when you look at what we've been able to do, and I know numbers-wise we did something on it, but I think over the last 3.5 years, we're 3rd in the nation in winning percentage. We're 81-17, dating back to the start of the 2009-10 season, and the last, we're 60-9 over the last to the start of the 10-11 season. So I think we've been in the polls, the national rankings. I think this week makes 31 consecutive weeks that we've been nationally ranked, which is one of the longest streaks. Not only it's the longest streak in the conference history, but one of the longest of all time. So things like that put you up there. Certainly, when you think of the blue bloods of Division II, who comes to mind right away? Kentucky Wesleyan, Southern Indiana. Certainly Augusta State has become one of those. I mean, you kind of look at those, just like in Division I, who do you think? You think Kentucky, you think Duke, you think North Carolina, you think Kansas, UCLA. So it's the same thing Division II. We're working our way into that conversation. What makes a program a nationally elite, I think, is consistent, sustained success. And, we've started, I think, 3.5 years ago. Obviously, we got to continue to put ourselves in those conversations, and what's going to really turn that us into one of those is to make a run in the national tournament, and we've got to keep putting ourselves in the national tournament and give ourselves a chance to make that run. And so, I think certainly the name is now synonymous. People understand that we're would certainly be considered a nationally elite program, but I still think we have a ways to go before we're in that same breath with those blue bloods, because there's just so much, like it is. It's a long-standing consistency over time.
I think the movie Field of Dreams years ago had the statement in it, build it and they will come. That being said, the success that this team has enjoyed over the last 4 years of your direction, and now 6 games into the 2012-2013 season, has the success helped you in your recruiting in order to get the better players, to get the elite players out there for Division II?
There's no question. I think when you call a kid and you talk to a kid and you're able to say, hey, we've won this many games, we've had this many guys go play professionally, or we have these facilities, we have these academic programs. All those things together make a package. But the biggest difference is, when we were recruiting 5 years ago, or when I first started here, I had never been a head coach, so I had never won a game. The program was not had a recent history of being successful. So there was a lot of, hey, this is what we're going to do. Here's a vision. Now, things are tangible. And I think the biggest difference you can see in recruiting is the fact that we signed 3 guys early, and my first 4 years here, we signed 2 guys early the whole 4 years. We signed Vinny Bailey early, we signed Kurt McMillan early. This year we were able to get 3 guys that we really want, and we're pretty picky. We want guys that we think are, Division I players, high school players that are academically can handle the work here and all those things. And for us to get 2 6'8" guys in the early signing period, another guard we really like in Austin Hunt, shows that recruits are certainly intrigued with our message, and I think the success and the wins and the fact they can go back and look and see the fact that we've had 3 straight 20-win seasons, or been to consecutive tournaments, or we're number 1 in the country last year, or are 3rd in the country in winning percentage over a period of time. All those things resonate, and people want to go somewhere where they're going to win and have success, because for them, for basketball recruits, it's generally the basketball is a large part of their decision, along with the academic side of things. And no one's having fun. I don't care where you are. If you're 5-25, it's a lot more fun to go 25-5 than 5-25 for everybody involved, from the announcers, from the announcers to the managers to the coaches to the players. Everybody enjoys, winning. It makes everything easier and more exciting. So recruits are no different. They want to go somewhere. Now we have tangible proof that, hey, we've won. We've done it with different teams. 3 years ago it was a DeMario Curry, Darryl Garrett group. Last year you could say it was a Desmond Johnson, Brandon Arm. And now this year it's a different group in of itself. So, that it's not just a one-hit wonder, but that we can do this and sustain it. And obviously that's the definition of me to success is consistent high-level performance over a long period of time. That's what separates, Roger Federer in tennis or the Bulls in the 90s, be able to consistently produce high-level performance over a long period of time. You know, and we're still in the process of that, but it's a never-ending process.
6 games into the schedule, you're unblemished at this point, both in conference play and overall. You know, you got the Rojo shopping spree for the kids behind you now. Obviously, your team was heavily involved with that. They are every year. You got final exams coming up, but before you can get to your final exams, you've got this bout with UVA-wise this weekend. And up until now, I've had a lot of different analogies of it. You've kind of gone in maybe with one shoe laced up or one glove on and one hand tied behind your back due to injuries or whatever, suspension, what have it. But it seems like everybody's now starting to get healthy and ready to play. So this weekend, obviously, you got a big order to fill when you're on the road at UVA-wise.
We do. They're a good team. You know, they're 4-5. Their record's a little bit deceiving. They went in and played Bellarmine in Southern Indiana already. They, you know, we're 2 of the top 5 teams in the country. You know, they you know, have had some good wins as well. It's going to be a really good test for us. We are back healthy. Vinny Bailey was, I thought, against Newberry, you know, and really for his first game back and playing, you know, I think he had 20 points and 14 rebounds in 25 minutes. So to get him back, you're talking about, in my opinion, the best low block player in the region. I don't know of anybody I'd rather have than Vinny Bailey down there. So it made a huge difference for us. And you know, now we're kind of full bore into it, full go. It's a tough stretch. You know, we talked about this going into it. 3 straight road games is never easy. And you know, going to Tusculum, going to Newberry, going to Wise, we obviously have the 800-pound gorilla, the two big games sitting on the back end of this deal. But those games won't be as meaningful if we don't take care of our business on Saturday at Wise, because you want those games to have big meaning on the back end. But we've got to take care of our business and then focus all our attention on King and then Augusta.
Well, obviously, this weekend's game is the most important game because that's the next game. Yep. We've talked about that in the past. Now, looking back at last week's game with Newberry on the road, obviously, you and I talked about the fact that they do present some problems for us because they are the dribble drive offense, and that gives us some problems with guarding the ball. What adjustments have you made this week after being exposed in that area?
We've, you know, it'll be interesting because Wise plays very similar. They're 5-out, you know, team. They dribble drive it. They've got one of the best guards I think in the region. And Javon Moore averages, I think, 22 points a game. You know, the Newberry's guards are terrific, and you know, we could not guard them in the second half for a stretch there, and we had to actually switch to zone, which I haven't played zone in 5 years. We've gone back. And all week have spent time working on getting better defensively, guarding the ball. The key to being a great defensive team, the first key is being able to guard the ball. It's the hardest thing to guard in basketball in today's game. Back 20 years ago, it was action. Now the hardest thing to guard in basketball is the ball or players. We've worked on it. We've got to get better. To be an elite team, we got to be an elite defensive team. To be an elite defensive team, we have got to guard the basketball at a higher level. And so we're gonna go back. We've worked on it. Now it's just time to implement it. Hopefully we'll see an improvement on Saturday, and then we'll have another week really to get better at it before we play King and Augusta. And those things will be challenged. We got to do a better job. Our guards, Lorenzo Ross, C.J. Wakely, Wally Jones, Cam Carden, Chance Jones, Tim. They have to guard the ball better. I mean, we just have to do a better job of keeping the ball out of the paint and leveling the ball with our chest. And we're working on it. We understand it, and it's something we got to improve on to take the next step.
Coach, I know that your coaching philosophy doesn't end on the floor. Final exams coming up, and I know that that's the biggest reason a lot of these kids are here, so you're focusing on that too, and them finishing strong in the fall semester.
Absolutely. It's, what we always say, we're a commitment to the entire program, and obviously getting guys, having graduation and getting guys through, and you got final exam week and all that stuff, and it's not a time we're going to get a whole lot better. We'll work our schedule around their schedule, but we do have 2 monster games in the back end, so, with student athletes, they got to be able to focus on both. They got to take care of their books. We're going to do a lot of study hall, a lot of work there, and then obviously we got to go in on the practice court, even if it's going to be shorter practices because of final exam weeks. We got to have great focus because we obviously have 2 huge challenges waiting for us at the end of finals week.
Yeah, you brought up a statistic. We've only got about 30 seconds left. You brought up a statistic to me before the show started about 3 undefeated teams in the region. We're one of them. We got King on Sunday a week from this weekend, and then we've got to go to Augusta State on the 19th.
Yeah, unbelievable. With this, whoever the scheduling coordinator is needs to be fired. But it's great for us. I mean, these are monster games with the NCAA tournament implications. Going to be great tests. Got to handle our business Saturday at Wise. Then you have a chance to play 2 great teams in King and Augusta. Looking forward to it.
Josh, good luck.
Thanks, Russ.
All right, the Railsplitters and the Highland Cavaliers tip off on Saturday at 4 o'clock. We'll have pregame coverage beginning about 3:40 on the LMU Sports Network, so do check it out as the Railsplitters travel to Wise, Virginia to take on the University of Virginia College at Wise. I'll have all your play-by-play. Let's take a break, and we'll be back to close out the show here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Nestled at the foot of the Cumberland Gap, Lincoln Memorial University honors the vision and spirit of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's values are perfectly in sync with the modern educational experience at LMU. Our students find personal attention is a way of life and a way to success. If Lincoln Memorial University fits your vision of college, visit our website at lmunet.edu for more information.
Sigmund Communications is your local radio and television stations bringing your local information, local news, and the best music from yesterday and today. Sigmund Communications was established in 1987 on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University. Since then, we have been involved in community events and other projects. Sigmund Communications is not only your local radio and television stations, but we are a learning facility aimed at educating students in the field of broadcast communications. Sigmund Communications, not just the great building with satellites that sits on the hill.
We're now MediaStream, bringing home to you more and more improvements. As your hometown team, we're dedicated to bringing our friends and neighbors more service upgrades than ever before. Always available 24/7 customer service and technical support. 30-day money-back guarantee on services. Improved bundles that will save you money. Get ready to do more of the things you love with the people you love and with savings you'll love. Call 1-800-392-2662 for details. MediaStream, bringing it home to you.
Bringing it home to you.
And again, welcome back. You may have heard me allude to the fact that the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team was involved this past week with the annual RoHo shopping spree for the area's needy children. They were not the only LMU athletic team involved. In fact, over 100 to 120 LMU student athletes and coaches and representatives from the LMU athletics department went over and helped with that annual shopping spree. Of course, the RoHo is a longtime organization here in the area that helps to raise money to provide needy children in the area food and clothing and toys that they wouldn't otherwise have around the Christmas time. We'd also like to thank and recognize the J. Frank White Academy. Jared Boster, the principal down there, taking approximately 25 to 30 juniors and seniors over there to help out with that particular cause. And you know, as a RoHo member, I can tell you the help was invaluable, but these LMU athletes get a lot out of it too, and they really enjoyed it this year. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be showing you a special on that that'll air just before the Christmas holiday and just before the New Year's Eve holiday about the actual shopping spree and what took place over there this past Tuesday. So we definitely want to have you viewing the TV that night and checking it out. That's about all the time we have for this week. Good luck to the Railsplitter and Lady Railsplitter basketball teams in their endeavors this week. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night, everybody.